What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the channel. So today we're talking about Leo Muhammad. There's a day I also did a couple of videos of Leo Muhammad, and today's video we're gonna be seeing the facts that he has about the Caucasians, that he have about the group of people which also lives in the United States and also considered as a race of humanity. So let's dive into this video, but just before that, let me give you a background of Leo Muhammad, probably for those who don't know, but I believe that most of you know. Leo Muhammad is was born in Jamaica. He was a Muslim, say. At some point he's a comedian, and he was an activist, bearing that he grew in a community, in a black community, which faced a lot of problems, and this was a motivation to him to become an activist, to become a person who represents blacks in different spheres. So let's watch this video and then come back and say something about it.
People were taught to hate ourselves.
That's right.
Even to this day, many of my people suffer from self-hatred.
Teach Muhammad.
And you will see us trying to change our skin color.
Teach Muhammad.
When I was born in the 50s, in Jamaica, they would take, like my nose, the mothers would sometimes take the nose and try to squash it.
That's right.
To make it straighter, because they didn't like this nose, because it was too, what they call negroid. And they would try and squash it because they'd been so conditioned to hate self that they felt that the baby was ugly if it had thick lips and broad nose and black skin. And so this is in order to counterbalance that degree of self-hatred, there had to be a teaching given by Elijah to black people that would allow us to fall in love once again with ourselves.
That's right.
To have self-respect and to identify that one who was primarily responsible for our destruction. And so I say to you, I understand. Now, just to address the point that you made about the mad scientist. We hear this all the time, but at no point did we say the scientist was mad.
That's right.
That's the only thing I wanted to correct you on. Everything else is correct. Yes, the Caucasian was created or made via a process of genetic engineering.
That's right.
This is the history that we have been. Yes, it's true. Yes, it's true.
It's an older group.
Huh?
It's an older group.
What's an older group?
In anthropology, it's an older group.
The Caucasian?
Yes.
No, sir.
The oldest group in the three groups. Right?
No.
Negro and Caucasoid.
Okay, let's deal with it. Yes, I will. Thank you very much. Let's deal with this. See, because look, I know you're a wise man, and so you must understand that I'm a baby in wisdom, but I'm not a fool. And he's saying here today that the Caucasian is in fact the oldest group on the planet. I beg to differ. Look, one of the most famous anthropologists is Professor Leakey. And when Professor Leakey went in search of the origin of human beings and human species, he didn't stop very long in Europe. He went to Africa. And the oldest bones and the oldest human beings to this day that you call Zinjanthropus, using the Latin meaning Zin and Xanthropus, meaning a black man, that oldest man, they say, is millions of years old. You went back and found one even older than that. You called her Lucy, a black woman.
Go ahead.
And every sensible historian, anthropologist today agrees that the black man is the father of human beings. Even your geneticist, Mr. Mendel.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You have Mendel's law.
Go ahead.
Mendel says that light eyes are recessive, light skin is recessive. You can take the recessive, the dark skin is dominant, the dark eyes are dominant. You can take the recessive from the dominant, but you can't get the dominant from the recessive. This is Mendel's law. And so all of your scientists have proved that you can't look. Black is not even a color.
That's right. Teach.
Black is the mother and father of all colors.
Teach.
That's why the scripture says, in the beginning was blackness. And if you want a baby, even if the woman is a white woman, the baby has to come out of the triple darkness of her womb. And this is the origin of all life. Within the black, you have the whole color spectrum. But in white, two white people laying down together, they can only produce white. But two black people in darkest Africa can lay down together and produce albino with blonde hair and blue eyes.
That's right. Teach, Muhammad.
This happens all the time. And so we need to really get these facts correct today and understand that as gray as your hair is, you are listening to your father today.
Teach, Muhammad.
This is daddy talking.
Teach.
And we mustn't turn. No, this is true. I'm not mocking. This is true. And I'm telling you, I believe that this man is even sincere in what he says. But this is the problem.
That's right.
There are many Caucasian people who sincerely believe.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
That they are our mothers and fathers.
Teach the Bible.
When in fact the opposite is true. Look, that's why you only just came on the planet yesterday.
I will say this: I'm impressed by the facts that Leo Muhammad gives out in regards to Caucasian, and I've heard this for a couple of times that black race is Africans generally are the mark of humanity, because it is from the Africans where we had different groups, and later on through the evolution theory mutation happened, and now we're having different groups, and the people migrated to different places, and due to this mutation, change, and environment, we have different people who we are seeing today, and I can't dispute that. Also, one thing that I would like to note that Muhammad Leo was motivated by people like Louis Farrakhan, who also talked about the black people, talked about the black civilization, and they fostered unity amongst the black community. And looking back, things like are happening today, even in Africa, looking our lives today in Africa, most of Africans don't understand how valuable they are in the face of human race, and some of them look down upon themselves because of their color, and it is a sad thing. And this message, it is important to black people, Africans in general, because you fail to understand why we are having Africans who are not proud of themselves, why we are having Africans who are worshiping white people, knowing that we are just equally similar. Like, there ain't no difference, there ain't no big difference, and if you understand your worth as an African, if you understand your worth as a black person, it will make you not bow down to these people. Of course, we're not trying to paint white people as bad people, but having histories where black people have always been discriminated, which has made even some Africans deny their color, Africans deny their identity. Some don't want to be called Africans because they look like Africans, something which is inferior to them, so they don't want to associate with anything to do with Africans, And the explanation that Leo Muhammad gives should tell you, even the brothers and sisters who call themselves foundational black Americans, ADOS, and all the other groups, you should know that the origin of mankind is from Africa. And even if you look at your skin color, even if you look at how you do things, if you trace it back to Africa, you're gonna find some similarities, apart from difference of being raised from different places, which makes our habits different, which makes even our skin color become a little bit different, So with that being said, we have always been one people. It is that we don't just recognize this. Another thing that I would like to say is that it also saddens me that seeing some Africans, women, want to change their skin color to something lighter, insinuating that sometimes black is not that thing. In as much as we respect everyone's preference, we respect everyone's what they think about, but if you understand history so well, you realize that you should not just give up on your color. It's beautiful. The advantages that the black person has, the melanin thing, are resistant to diseases, the immunity that blackness has, this is something which is so commendable, that how I wished every Africans could have known this. But unfortunately, some of us are still ignorant on these issues. But I believe that we need to spread these issues, we need to spread this message to people so that it might reach a number of people and people get to know the truth. You know, it is not unlike in the past where people never wanted to associate with the black, because we were considered as people who were down in the hierarchy, people who were never considered when it comes to the things that people wanted. We were looked as substandard human. And I mean, I'll use this chance to address this thing. I've seen a couple of ugly videos about our brothers, blacks, maybe in the United States, some of them who say some nasty things about Africans, you know. And it is so sad that in as much as we are equally similar, I know we might not be similar in the sense, I mean, you get me, in the sense that we do things similarly. No, I mean, I don't mean that, you know. When you look at the blueprint of being a black person, we are all like same, you know. That's what I'm trying to say. But when you realize some Africans also say some things about the blacks in the diaspora, I mean, it's kind of saddening, you know. And people don't understand that we should be coming together as black people. And I thank Leo Muhammad, Louis Francan, and Elijah Muhammad for always bringing black people together, putting us together, showing us we belong to one person. Our ancestors are just the same people. Sorry, apart from the betrayal which happened, we are just one people. And we should be proud. We should be proud of our brothers and sisters. The achievements that black Americans have done in the United States, I'm really proud of them. The achievements that Jamaicans have done in the America, I'm also proud of them. Trinidad and Tobago, those are our brothers who are outside there. And the discoveries, what the Jamaicans did and everything, reggae, hip hop, you know, I mean, I'm really proud as an African, and we don't take this for granted. We don't take this for granted. It is so sad that we call ourselves status amongst ourselves, we black people. We should not betray our brothers and sisters. The only asset that we black people have is unity. And that's one thing that media can never let us have in peace, because that's where there is power. That's our strong point, I would say that. So I hope you find every black folks where you are, every person who identify themselves as African wherever you are. And thank you guys. I'll take this chance to ask you, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, you can consider subscribing to this channel. It's just a small channel which is growing, on my way to 5K subs. If you subscribe, I'll really appreciate your support. And guys, thank you for my returning subscribers. Thank you for people who always come along to watch my videos. I'll simply create a video to big up you and everything that you do. So guys, until then, let's meet in the next video. Peace, love, and harmony. Salute.